Hi everybody. Welcome back to another episode of VCTV. Today we're going to discuss about the technologies, the fastest growing healthcare technologies in the healthcare space. So I think the clocks have shifted 1 hour. That's why people probably are still waiting to wake up and join the panel. Hence, we don't see all other speakers, even though they were like excited to be part of this panel today, talking about the emerging technology, the fastest growing technologies in the healthcare space. So it's okay. Let's just start with Gary, Kingsley, and Vandana about what technologies are really shaping the future of the healthcare sector. So for the viewers who've just joined us for the first time, my name is Sunny Mohanty, and I'm the regional director of LaToken, a LaToken host VCTV, a platform to connect budding entrepreneurs with investors. And also investors connecting to investors. This is an investor panel today. So let's have a quick round of introduction of our speakers. Let's start with in terms of introduction. Let's start with Kingsley today. Hi, Kingsley. Welcome back.
I will say ladies first, if you don't mind.
Sure. Vandana, see. Let's go with you first.
Yeah, thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Kingsley. First of all, Sunny, I would like to thank you for having me here and being so proactive and always coordinating and making this happen. And my lots of gratitude to you and LaToken TV.
Thank you.
Also, I wanted to thank Gary for inviting me on his show. I really had a lot of fun. And Gary, I got a lot of compliments after your show, especially from my mother.
That's the most important thing. I mean, that's number one.
Yeah, and my mother had never given me a compliment in 6 years. And after seeing your show, she was like, "You look beautiful, you spoke well." So I was like, okay, that's something. So thank you for having me on your show. It was really, really awesome. And keep up the good work. So coming back to my introduction, I am Vanna Tolani. I was in Singapore and Jakarta for 15 years in investment banking. I had my own family office fund there. This is my 6th year back in India. I did some investments and then I went back to advisory. Currently, I'm connected with 200 investors globally. All over the world, we pick up global deals. We are sector agnostic. So feel free to reach out to me. And thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Vandana. I'm a little heartbroken. How come your mom hasn't seen you on VCTV?
Oh, she has, but she never complimented me the way she did for Gary's show. That's for the whole thing.
Oh, Gary. I need to watch that show to understand.
It's got a charm.
I'm blushing.
Oh.
Yeah. But she has complimented you a lot, Sunny.
So Gary, I've got a competition now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, your mom complimented you. On my show, she complimented her. See?
But she complimented Sunny.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do something so your mom can compliment you on VCTV because you're a regular speaker on VCTV, you know?
Okay.
Great. And I keep on watching Gary live all the time.
Yeah.
He pops up, notification pops up, and I go and watch it.
Well, thank you.
Fantastic. Great. So thank you, Vandana. Ladies first, as suggested by Kingsley. Let's go with Kingsley next. Hi, Kingsley. Welcome back.
Yeah, good evening, Sonny. Thank you always for letting me speak on your show. I know everybody here. Gary, my body village partner. You know, we are from a small village. And we are working together on things. Looking forward to making that happen. My name is Kingsley Kobayashi. I've been in Asia for about 30 years. I am the chairman founder of Kobayashi Group. We invest in commercial real estate. We invest in blockchain projects, especially when it comes to payment system and other emerging markets. AI, I'm not that very intelligent in that right now, but I'm looking to Gary to put me in that direction. So I'll be able to be doing that in a few months. So I'm an investor in different sectors, traditional or blockchain. So that's what we do.
Wow, blockchain. Interesting. Thank you, Kingsley, and welcome back.
Thank you.
Gary, over to you, please.
Yes, no, it's great to be here. It's great I feel like it's family hour. I
Yes.
see you guys so much. It's great. So my name's Gary Fowler. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've done 17 companies. I was on the original management team at Click Software, sold to Salesforce for 1.35 billion a little over 2 years ago now. I'm also the co-founder of Viva.ai, an AI HR tech startup that we started 5 years ago with a friend of mine, billionaire David Yang, and it's one of the top 10 AI HR tech companies in the world today. I love AI and quantum computing. It's the world is changing dramatically. AI is a new electricity really powering it. I'm the CEO, co-founder, and president of GSD Get Shit Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in Santa Clara, California.
Fantastic. Great. So we all set with the introductions of our speaker for the session today. So it's a very important topic, healthcare. We all been affected by the pandemic in some way or the other, and we need innovations in the space. No more the old traditional way of bringing healthcare services over to you is going to be sustainable. That's what we've all realized. So technology obviously is a key element in the healthcare sector. Today, we are able to connect with each other on this platform because of technology. Without this technology, there's no way possible to know how is everybody doing, otherwise. And also, in these times, difficult times where we are still, some parts of the world are still in lockdown, we are able to connect with our near and dear ones, and we are able to think and live a sort of life, normal life sort of thing. So yeah, thanks to technology. So let's talk about technology. This topic is all about technology. Um, so before we deep dive into the benefits or the technologies that's going to be game changer in the healthcare sector, let's just define different healthcare sectors we have that needs innovations, that failed us during this pandemic, and that needs to be innovated. Kingsley, let's start with you.
I think, thank you very much, Sonny. I think the pandemic taught us that we are not prepared for any of the things that happened during the coronavirus pandemic, which is still on. It would be shocking for you to know that a lot of developing countries did not have infrastructure in place. So because the rich people will always have to travel abroad and get medical treatment while the poor stay at home and manage ones there. But with the COVID-19, what has happened is that a lot of money is now being pumped into the health sector, health tech sector in developing countries, which is progressive, very, very progressive, because they now realize they cannot travel out of their countries to go to the safe zone to get treatment. So the same treatment for everybody right now. If you are India, you get treatment in India. If you are in Nigeria, you get treatment in Nigeria. If you're in Japan, you get treatment in Japan, because there was a traveling ban for some time. So different governments and different bodies have realized they have to invest in their own environment, in their own community. So this is one of the great things that came out of this healthcare. And when we talk about technologies, we look at it from different ways. Regional, for example, Japan is very advanced in technology already.
Yeah.
So what they needed to add to it was, okay, teleconsultation, telemedicine, telehealthcare, but they already had every infrastructure in place. But when you go to developing countries where people don't even have good internet, it becomes a problem. So you invest on the internet infrastructure before you invest in health tech. So it's an ecosystem. For example, in Japan, you have old people's home. In the country, you don't have old people's home. Even those that are home, You know they are okay in the morning because when they wake up, they put on their tea kettle. Once they put it on, it allows the hospital that they are awake. The hospital knows right away that they are awake. There's a chip that will tell them she's making tea right now. But that technology does not apply to a lot of countries because they don't have that system. So we're going to be talking about two different ways to talk here. One is developing countries. The other one will have to be developed countries who already have the infrastructure in place. And we're going to be talking about the old people. How do we care for our old? You know, Japan have an aging population. How do we care for them? How do we care for the young in countries like Nigeria that have a very huge population of young people? Whereas the old people there, you know, you have a family system that take care of them. You know, developed countries don't have a family system anymore because everybody is struggling to make money. So we are all out of that place. And now what happens? There are no grandchildren to take care of grandmas. Nobody to do that. So these simple things have to be put into proportion. How do we come to an equilibrium where everything is okay? Is what we're going to be. I think we're talking about today.
Wow, totally correct. Totally, I'm with you, Kingsley, on those insights that you just shared. We need to bring in more balance, and this healthcare should be like available for every person alive on this planet. Thank you so much, Kingsley, for sharing those.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gary, over to you, please.
Yeah, so look at what's happened over the last year in terms of health tech with the digital transformation that's taken place. As Kingsley said, telemedicine is really going forward, but at the same time, AI and drug discovery. I remember now it's about 6 months ago that I was contacted by PharmaVision out of the UK. They were doing a study, and there were a lot of politics around bench time versus AI modeling. And of course, if you look at the vaccines that have come out during COVID, many of them were done using AI modeling. Look how fast it takes us decades sometimes to come out with drugs. In a matter of months, they came up with these incredible vaccines that have had put a dent in the universe and tried to help us get better. So that's part of the future. At the same time, think about it with being able to do gene splitting and gene slicing and to be able to take out the bad stuff so there is no more cancer, diabetes, etc. Those technologies, we're really on the forefront of technologies that are going to impact our lives. The new target age is 150 years old. I remember about 6 years ago, I took a group of MBA students out to California. We worked with some professors at Stanford and some top people in the medical profession out in California, including one that had a successful $100 million exit. And our target then was 120 years old. It's called health extension. So, but we're really on the revolution. Think about things like smart pills that you could swallow that will go inside your body and to be able to understand what's happening. It's kind of interesting why we have these incredible technologies that are out there today. And yet at the same time, we're on a journey. The journey is to be able to help us live longer and better lives. And think about robot-assisted surgery. Imagine the precision. Think about computer vision being applied to things like melanoma to be able to understand. There's a technology developed at Stanford University that was able to tell better than 23 doctors whether or not somebody, just by taking a picture, has melanoma or not. Those kind of technologies are really interesting. It's not about waiting. Think about it. You go into a doctor every year for an annual physical. What happens the other 364 days of the year? What happens if you get cancer the day after you leave, right? So why don't we real-time course correct and understand what's happening with our bodies at any time so it can be applied and changed if we're deficient in a nutrient, figure out what that nutrient is and get it to us. If we've got cancer, to be able to attack the cancer before it becomes a problem. And we're on the verge of those stem cells. So stem cell, I actually looked into it myself. There's incredible advancements in stem cells. So people with heart attacks, for instance, being able to come in and replace the damaged cells. There's a group in Panama. Actually, the way I found out about it, I heard about it from Mel Gibson. So Mel Gibson's father went down and actually had that stem cell work done. You can listen to it on the Joe Rogan show. He did it on Joe Rogan too. But it talk about it. It's they're miracles. Literally miracles take place. So these are the kind of things that are in front of us. We have to weigh out the politics. Sometimes big pharmaceutical companies come in because it's better for them to have you drugged up. Not all of them, right? But some to take the drugs rather than take care of the problem. So, but we're on the verge of this. And now with AI and quantum computers coming in, we're going to be able to run so many different data sets to figure out what's happening that will be what I call hyper-personalized medicine to be able to get the job done quickly. And the other thing is, just FYI, it's very interesting. So I love my dog a lot. And I actually found a group that's going to clone my dog to give me the exact dog for 50 grand. So I have my dog. So I never, ever lose my dog. So
wow, for 50 grand?
Yeah, they clone your dog, your exact dog.
And I'm just trying to visualize it. So you have two of yours. So what's the dog's name? Sorry, Carrie, I forgot.
Sunny. Sunny. Sunny.
Are you serious? Or is it a joke?
Sunshine. Sunshine's her name, but we call her Sunny.
Okay, so sorry about that. So
you ask, I had to tell you.
I'm sure, yeah. So you have two Sunnies. I mean, exactly look alike.
Exact dog.
Wow.
Exact. It's like a twin, like an identical twin. What I'm saying is those kind of technologies are out there. I mean, it's like there's ethical boundaries, like in cloning ourselves, and which could be done. But at the same time, it's interesting, right? These are the kind of technologies, and it's a lot of money to do it. But I mean, how much is your dog worth, right?
Yeah.
For you.
I think calling for a 50 grand, grand is, I think it's not a big amount of money if you really want to clone your dog.
Well, I mean, you're only, you go through your life and there's certain things people want. Some people like expensive cars and Ferraris and all that. I just like my dog.
Sunshine.
What can I say, But anyhow, those kind of, now think about it. We figured that out. Imagine what else we can do. Then the other thing is replacement of organs. Your pancreas can be curated in about 6 weeks. So imagine being able, you have a problem with your heart, do you have your exact heart replaced with yours from your cells? We're just on the dawn of this new era, and it's going to change everything. And what we have to do is understand. I mean, it'll get to a point where we're going to live not 150 years, but 250 years. It's going to be, then we have to deal with it, this increase in population, because as Kingsley said, there are a lot of people, a lot of young folks in Africa, and not so many in places like Japan and the US. But imagine when we start to change the lifespan, we start stacking up. So that opens up a whole array of new challenges because we've got to have more food production. So it's very, very interesting. But the good news is it's going to help us live a better, more quality life, and it's going to optimize pretty much everything around us. So with artificial intelligence, optimize the way that we live our lives and live longer.
Great. Thank you, Gary, for sharing a lot of things in this one question. Very insightful. Vandana, over to you. So basically, Vandana, I just see we are talking about healthcare today because of the pandemic, because it has so much has impacted our lifestyle. It just upside down. Our entire life is changed. The way we work, the way we live, everything has changed. So keeping that aside, obviously, pandemic, the governments are doing, the healthcare authorities are doing to trace. I have this trace app on my phone where it can track another infected patient within a certain sort of distance. But talking about our daily lifestyle, as Gary says, I had for instance, I go to an appointment for a yearly check, and then I realize that I have cancer maybe a few days. So how can these? I mean, we need innovations in this space, right? I mean, for instance, for me, just as an example, if I could have a kit or a tool where I can just test my own blood. Every time I feel not so good about my body or the way I feel, I just can do a test myself at home, and that results sort of gives me some sort of stats about my vital stats about my body, how it's functioning, what's wrong. That would make my life so easy. And obviously, I don't have to go for yearly checkups. I can just have those, sort of daily, because I'm having those daily checkups at home. I can avoid that as well. So in that aspect, so what sectors we need innovations in terms of healthcare? I mean, as per you, because we just imagine what problems we face on a daily basis.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, Sunny, that when the pandemic had hit us, we were very, very skeptical of using digital platforms like Zoom. And when we got forced to use them, we realized that it is more easy to do things, and it's more easy for us to get access to people all around us. Telemedicine, well, naturally, if you're in a lockdown, people were not accepting that, they could go on telemedicines, and they were saying, oh, who visits a doctor on telemedicine? But it's a good innovation here, because else do we visit a doctor in a pandemic and in a lockdown? So the thing is that, I feel technology fails because there is a lot of data. Typically, we go to one particular clinic which has recorded our allergies, our side effects of medications. And, in a pandemic, if we are stuck in another country, I mean, we should be, another doctor, another clinic should be able to access that data and see, okay, they are allergic to this thing or that thing. So I think that data needs to be managed, whether it's through AI or whether it's through some innovative technology. I think that is one thing. Cancer, I wish cancer had a lot more faster cure than through an innovative technology, because that is a really dreading disease if somebody gets into. So that's another thing where I felt that we failed, and we didn't have a technology in place. Of course, now stem cell technology is there. We can cure a lot of things, but still there is no accurate cure for cancer through via technology. That is another thing where I felt that we failed. And a third thing where we failed is like, we have elderly people all around us. And they need sudden assistance, emergency help, wherein they need to get to the doctor, or they need some particular medication. Now I am working with a deal where at the press of a button, the elderly people can get help with an assistant, with a WhatsApp. So everything is managed well, but still, those kind of technologies are rare to be seen. So I think these are the several places where we have failed coming to, but of course we are coming up with AI, we are coming up with machine learning, we have come up with a lot of pharmacy apps that were not there before. And a lot of medical apps at press of a button. But like you said that, testing our blood on our own, some kind of technology that could just help us. Yeah. And we could upload the report, and if we are in another country, another doctor could access it, not just our doctor. So
exactly, the data is with us. Our personal health records are with us, right?
Yeah.
And we can share with any doctors in any country, or whenever we are not in, when you are traveling, or when you're in a different country, not in your country where your records are with a doctor. So that will make our lives so much easier, So get to say something.
Also when we do surgeries. Sorry.
No, I was going to say Theranos.
Sorry?
Theranos. Theranos, the company.
No.
Theranos. No.
Yeah, Theranos is a company that was founded out in California. She was compared to the next Steve Jobs, and she formed a company that would do analysis in things. And anyhow, that's the idea is really right. She tried to implement it, and there were some challenges, shall we say.
Right. Because, all of us, I'm sorry, what's wrong? Because we, so it's a technical issue. So because we know all of us have headaches, daily issues with headache, body ache, stress-related issues. We have issues with digestion. So how can somebody, if there was an app that could actually tell me the cause, the root cause of these kind of issues? So, for that makes my life so much productive, because uh, if I need to be first healthy to be able to work or deliver anything, right? So
Yeah.
I think somebody, I think Gary or Kinsley, we need to come up with an app which tells the a daily health status of, which tells us how we are every day,
I,
not like
I think
once in.
I think we already have a few of that. We already have a few of that you wear, and then it tells you
Oh.
your heartbeat, your this, that. But what I think we need is there's a project I work with that you put chips in your refrigerator, and wherever it's wrong, for example, with a building, you don't have to break the whole building. It will tell you where it's wrong, where it's bad in that building. So if we have something that we can wear and tell us, hello, you're having a headache. A headache is a symptom of something wrong with the body.
Yeah, that's true.
And this thing tells you what is wrong, what is causing that headache to happen. Then you call the doctor up, because I still don't believe in 100% technology to take care of the human body. You need somebody who is versatile in that region. For example, if surgery, you cannot do it by yourself at home.
Oh yeah, that's
So you need a doctor for that. And then you also have to marry it with natural medicine. I believe so much in natural medicine because I have a pharmaceutical product called Kubias, which came about from my father having a prostate and had to go undergo operation. I said, no, he's 75 at that time. If we have an operation, he would not be. But with traditional medicine from India and Nigeria together, he's 95 today. They have prostate. So the solution, yes, we need more tech. We have to look back. God has given us everything we need to heal ourselves. So staying healthy, stay eating well, exercising yourself will also help you a lot in helping the technology to help you. Now, what we're talking about right now is we have to control our own data,
yeah,
put our data on blockchain, which means a private blockchain and a public blockchain. It's like voting, which means when you vote, you are voting publicly, but nobody knows your vote. They have a blockchain. So have your medical information on your phone, and you are in California or you are in Japan. All you need to do is just, it is Kingsley, all your medical data comes out. The doctor knows what you've been treated for, what is wrong with you, what you are allergic to, like Vandana said, what you need. So it may just be a simple inhaler that you need, but because you don't have an insurance in that country, if you take it to insurance, maybe you will do it. But if you don't have a travel insurance, I had a friend who came to Tokyo from the US and he got sick. Then go to the doctor. There is no what is wrong with him, what is this, what is that. But he needed was an inhaler because I have asthma. But at that time she was already like that. Could not say it's asthma, he doesn't need an inhaler. But fortunately the doctor woman was able to say, oh, this is what is wrong with this person. But as soon as she had the information on her phone, how medical data, put her finger, get data, this is what you are doing, this is what you are not doing, this is what is wrong, this is what she needs right now. So medical data is going to play a very serious role in technology in the future. Because it will tell us what to do, what not to do. You can also watch your body on a phone or a TV, see how your blood is flowing, are they clotted and things like that. I think artificial intelligence can already do that.
yeah,
When you used to have appendix, they have to cut you. In Japan, they don't cut you anymore. They use a camera to look into your body and just drill it out. So there's no mark. So this is advancing, but the rest world need to catch up.
yeah,
I mean, we need to spread the love to Southeast Asia, South America, Africa and things like that. In developed countries, I think we are getting there.
I think Kingsley very rightly said there are two different aspects. So we have this use case, how technology can make our lives simpler when it comes to our health care as individuals, and also how technology can make life easier for the doctors, the surgeons, right? Because they are the one who are serving us. So for them, it is essential to have those tools, those technology access, which can make their lives easier as well, to be able to give us the right kind of consultation, right? So there are two different aspects.
I will come in there because are you willing to share your data with public health organization? There should be a regulation there that says, okay, Tolani is willing to share her data with government for them to do research. Otherwise, they'll be prey on her privacy. So I think regulations should come into place and say, okay, when this happens, I will donate this, donate that, do that, do that. So these are the ways that regulations will play a role in what can be seen, what can be researched, what kind of privacy do you want people to know? You know, some people, when it comes to, you have to look at some traditions, some customs that would not allow it. So how do we educate people that is needed to help them? You know, I was watching on TV yesterday, I think it was BBC News, how people are refusing blood transfusion in Kenya because it's not from their clan.
Wow.
You understand? If it is not from their clan, they don't want blood because it's a different kind of blood. So we need more education to tell people that blood is the same, it's being treated, it comes to you, it doesn't matter. So we have traditional customs that block a lot of these things, and religion, of course. So we just have to be careful to do it.
Yeah, very rightly said. So, Harry, what's your insights about how healthcare providers, the doctors, the pharmaceuticals as well, they are the providers as well of medicines as well, how can they be benefited by technology, of use of technology in healthcare sector, and what technologies are already implemented in place, and what can be done more in the space in terms of innovating the space as well?
Well, I mean, it's all about the data, right? So it's a matter of how much data they can collect, and the more accurate the data, the better decisions can be made. But, you know, that's door number one. That's really when you have artificial intelligence is just collecting data. But the real beauty of it, or data collection, but the real beauty is really going down through, and the data start giving you insights, and then the data, the actual AI starts making the decisions for you. So essentially becomes like a doctor's assistant to be able to guide the physician through. So we're at a point where we're starting to collect the data. That's why we have things like the Fitbits of the world and the Apple Watches and different devices. But then we start with smart pills. Imagine taking the pill, as I said, to be able to swallow the pill to figure out what's happening from the inside out, and then little nanobots running throughout your body. Instead of having problems with cholesterol, actually cleaning it up and vacuuming it and fix and repair. How much different is life going to be at that point? So the doctor will be basically like an IT professional, just managing a lot of the data coming in. And I think, you know, from my standpoint, we're going to have specialized doctors that their whole idea is to interpret data. And then they'll get to the point where the doctors themselves will they'll have to be, you know, more data-driven health care professionals. So it's going to be very, very interesting how that happens. And imagine when you can forecast what's going to happen next before it even happens in the person based on their genes. And course correct. Take it out before it's a problem. So imagine before it even happens, the cancer, it's out of your system. There is no breast cancer, colon cancer, et cetera, because it's deleted. That's where the beauty of the system is. So the doctor, they've always been about collecting data, right? As scientists, how can they make a decision based on the data? It's just going to be a lot more accurate now.
Yes, education again. So when you said that the doctors should be more data-driven, how can that happen? Is it during when they're employed as a doctor, so when they graduate, or during their education in the medical school?
I mean, it's throughout the whole process, right? What does a doctor do? How do you feel? Let me check your blood. let's look at it. You're low in vitamin D. They go down through. They're looking at data to make decisions. And if you fall within certain boundaries, normal boundaries, it's not a challenge if it's outside of the boundaries. But now, it's a manual process. Now imagine, in Vandana's example, you just have a drop of blood. The decisions start to be made. And as soon as that blood is taken, already a course of action is being put in place. Now it'll be a time where, we're set up and your blood will get taken, and all of a sudden you'll have products delivered to your house, drugs delivered to the house to be able to course correct. Or, as I said, you're going to have a situation where they're going to be totally eliminated, so you'll never get that cancer. You'll never get those kind of diseases. Think about it. I mean, the reason that we get, well, I mean, I could spend a long time on it. I don't want to go through this show and waste time, but we're going to be able to course correct so quickly that it's going to dramatically enhance our lives. You won't be thinking about health like we do today. It's on people's minds every day, right? In some way, shape, or form. It's going to change because we're going to have these intelligent assistants that are going to really help us course correct all the time. They're going to be like this intelligent assistant you're going to have will be able to understand how you're feeling, what you need to do better, what makes you happy, what doesn't, what you need to learn, what excites you, and to be able to help really, like your mother. It'll be these intelligent systems will be like your mother, to be able to, from my perspective, compassion, to be able to guide you through your life and understand, as grown up as a child, your mother put her hand on your head. You have a fever. Now to be the situation is this intelligent assistant will know and say, come on, sit down for a minute and analyze you, and then come up with, these are the things, and order it from the pharmacy and have it delivered to the house. I mean, it'll be that much. And then, so those are the kind of things that are in the future. The doctors will be more and more data driven with real data. The difference is now they make estimations. I feel something on your arm, right? Let me take a look. But the situation, if you got nanobots in there and you go down through, it'll not only be feel, it'll look from the inside out. Oh, this is what needs to be fixed. Let's correct it. These are the kind of stem cells you need to have. Let's get them. So it's going to be an incredible world in the not too distant future.
I mean, how far in the future are we talking about? Because
stem cells are now. I mean, Sonny, you can go down in Panama to the Stem Cell Institute in Panama. If you have a heart attack today or diabetes, you can go down there today. It costs about $20,000, and what they'll do is they'll inject you with stem cells and repair that challenge problem. So if you've got, you had a heart attack or whatever, it'll go in. Literally, I'll tell you about a heart attack. It'll go inside, repair the damaged scar tissue, and you're back to where you were before. And how effective is it? It's pretty damn effective today. It's over 50% effective, but 50% from whatever you had puts you back in the game again. And my friend went down. He had it on his hip. They told him he's in extremely good shape. He's 50 years old, extremely good shape. It looks like he's in his 30s. But he played tennis so much he hurt his hip. And they told him he was going to need a hip replacement. He got stem cells. They put it on his hip. He actually, within 3 months, he was walking with a cane. Imagine this guy's in like model quality shape, walking with a cane. But in 3 months, he didn't need the cane anymore. He was back playing tennis again. Like, had no pain at all, zero pain. So it's just the situation is, it's not the way we think about medicine. We think we need to get drugged up to fix things. Well, why not just take care of the root of the problem? And with stem cells, and there's different groups. There's some in the Ukraine. They're all over the world now, but India. But this particular one is the one actually Mel Gibson used with his dad. And his dad came out, he was bent over, could hardly walk, was out of breath. And he got this therapy over a 3-day period of time. And I mean, his entire life changed. So it's a matter of knowing where to get it. So if you've got a problem, you got diabetes, you got heart problems, check it out. It's not cheap, but it's worth it.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something that health is something which is, again, it's not negotiable with anything. Like, if we do not have health, we do not have anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the quality of life is important.
But
And these emerging technologies are coming out. Go ahead, Kings.
Yeah, Kingsley
why
wanted
don't
to.
you also reverse the technology? Why don't you reverse the technology? Right now, you can use your fingerprint to open your phone, right? You can
Yeah,
use your biometrics to open your phone, do things like that. Why don't you reverse that technology? Instead of
reverse. Yeah,
opening the phone, why don't you have a device that you put your finger and tells you everything that is wrong with your body? I think that technology is somewhere already. People are already using it. You put your finger, and from your biometrics, it tells you you have back problem, you have knee problem, you have that problem. That I think it's just all about reversing the technology, because right now all our body does is open up things. You use your fingerprint to open your phone, to open your wallet, to open whatever you are doing on blockchain. So what if you have a technology that will now diagnose your body, and then comes out your phone and tell you, oh, today your headache is very bad. This is what is wrong. This is what is wrong. These are the tablets you need to take, or you need to go to the doctor right away. We already have a system in Japan where they tell you, okay, this guy have cancer or something. He's going to live for only 3 months or 5 years. If they can already tell you that at this age, you have to know that they already have more that they are not telling. So I believe the technology is there to tell your body. You put your biometrics there and test you. This is what is wrong with you. You need to fix it.
yeah,
A stitch in time saves nine. So
yeah.
the earlier you are able to detect and remove it, like Gary said, the better your life is. Because I mean, we're not getting younger, so I want this to happen in my age, in my time.
So yeah, Kingsley, that's a very good point. I mean, as I put fingers on my thumbprint on my phone and my phone opens up, I think I would love to have something like that,
Yeah.
which give me
Right?
a warning, because a headache can mean many things. It could be a symptom for some other critical
A
illness
symptom.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
symptom for something major
Of
as
course.
well. So I think there are a lot of potential for innovation in this sector. Lot, massive, huge. I mean, we can't even think of that. Sorry, I wanted to say something to Gary as well. While he was explaining about this pharmacy delivering medicines to my house, I was literally, living that moment. Well, I have a teleconsultation sitting at my home like this from a doctor, and after 1 hour, I get those medications. That would be like fantastic, right? And I get a notification from an insurance company that is under insurance. you know that's the whole experience as somebody, a user like us, like a end user, gonna really want to live that life. So technology is the one which is going to be the game changer here. Sorry, thank you so much for your insights, Kingsley and Gary. Vandana, sorry, over to you now.
Yeah, so I think there should be e-hospitals as well, and e-surgeries. I'll tell you a simple example. Say, for instance, I'm going for a surgery, but I don't know my skin is keloid skin, and the doctor uses a different thread, which is not meant for keloid skin, because he also doesn't know. It's only after the entire surgery we come to know that the skin was keloid. That's why there was issues with the skin. Now, if these things the doctor already knew about, like Gary said, that the doctor needs to be well versed with everything.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, before, when we would go to the doctor as children, we didn't know what the doctor is giving us, for what. Now, with my children, I'm more cautious. I'll Google it. Is he's giving a steroid? What is it for? Is it an antibiotic? I'll ask 10 questions, and the doctor gives information, and the pharmacist also, because Google is there. I mean, so I think if we all got educated in that direction, then also, we would not get duped in many ways as well. And even the doctors, they keep collecting data and information, but that data should have access also to another place. So that if that data is with us, we can just open the app and show another doctor. So I think these are some of the factors that doctors should pay attention to as well. And there is a lot of videos everywhere to educate yourself on a lot of different kinds of health situations. I think we should just watch those, make wise decisions before going to doctors, and not just make it a regular habit of just keep going to the doctor for. Some people do that as well. So I think these things we need to keep into mind. And like I said, at the press of a button, if you could get your medicines delivered, if you get the doctor, and even if there's a e-hospital where you could get admitted and get nursed and everything, then you actually don't need to go to a proper hospital. So I think these are the factors, and insurance gets covered automatically via your apps. So we need to pay attention to these different kind of innovations. Stem cells, I have seen people recovering through that, so that's a very good innovation that has come. But still, we need to do a lot more things for sicknesses like cancer, and other factors as well.
Yeah,
Diabetes.
I have something. A couple of years ago, I had been to a doctor, and they said you're having a viral infection. And after some days, I think for some reason, I went to another doctor. They said, "Why you're taking antibiotics for a viral infection?" So that's when I know even the doctors can prescribe antibiotics for a viral infection, and it's a virus and bacteria. So I think education, as you rightly said, is very important. All this basic stuff we should be aware of, so that we can actually not challenge a doctor, but we can consult. Like, if my symptoms are of a virus, then why I'm taking this antibiotics?
Yeah, I mean, of course, not challenging the doctor, but if you are yourself educated, then naturally you would know a lot many more things about it yourself, rather than relying more on the doctor. Especially some doctors have habit of giving steroids, to cure the sickness fast. This is very common in
I
China
know,
and very,
India also
yeah,
very common, because my
yeah,
mom,
yeah,
she is diabetic for a few years, and she had a very acute cough as well. Then the doctor gave her steroids that sort of stopped the acuteness of the cough, but her sugar went up.
yeah.
Steroids stopped the coughing immediately, but her sugar levels went up. So, I know for a fact steroids can suppress one thing, but obviously they can do damage.
Yeah,
Damage.
heartbeats can jump, and also we should not take steroids to cure ourselves. So we need to understand, like, when a doctor gives us steroid, we should Google it and see if it's a steroid. Doctor, I don't want steroids. I want something that can cure me, but not steroids. So I think that kind of, we should know all these things ourselves as well. And if we don't know, then naturally we'll just be dependent on the doctor.
Yeah, and one more thing, I think Google is overwhelming, because sometimes when I Google, I get overwhelmed with the kind of information, because a headache can lead to a cancer in a few days, as per Google.
Yeah.
So I think we need a startup who can actually come up with something app, or develop something which is regulated, which is approved by the doctors themselves in the education, so that we don't get overwhelmed by having a headache or a body ache.
Yeah, and we might have a headache because we've not had enough sleep, or
dehydration. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you really need is an advanced MRI, right? You already have an MRI that shows your body. It's like when you go to the airport, you have a scanner that shows all your body. So if you have an advanced MRI with artificial intelligence that you walk through, your body is scanned, tells you what is wrong with your body. And if you can afford to put this in your house, walk through it and tell what's wrong with your body. If you cannot afford it, have communities. Now we're talking about simple MRI, right? Do you know that there are states in the developing countries that don't even have MRI machines? They don't even have simple ultrasound machines. And what we are discussing now, to them, they never heard about it before. They've not even seen an MRI machine before. They don't know what it does. So this becomes very regional. A country like Japan that is very advanced when it comes to medical technology or technology. We have everything at your. We take it for granted. We take everything for granted. One day you get it, but when you go to Africa countries or you go to developing countries that don't have these things, you you look around. Another problem you face is, for example, if somebody speaks Sonny, you speak Japanese.
Sorry,
Do
are
you
you asking
speak
me?
Japanese?
Oh, Japanese? No, no, no.
Yes. You
I
don't
don't
speak
speak.
Japanese, right? So assuming you come to Japan, where maybe 70% of the doctors or 80% don't speak English. How do you explain to the doctor that you are sick or what is wrong with you?
It's tough, difficult, very tough, very difficult.
People people
Non-English
don't people don't think
speak.
people don't think about this because the language barrier is already posing a problem for you to explain what is wrong with you. So that's why you need the medical data. With the medical data, you can if it's on blockchain or whatever it is, or even electronic. Let's not go to blockchain right now. If it's electronic, that uses internet or any data at all, you press it, he doesn't know what is wrong with you. He can translate from Japanese to English or English to Chinese or whatever. The language barrier is the first problem we need to solve because most doctors don't understand English. We take it for granted because we are from the English speaking countries. We are from, you are in America, it is, you are in Britain, it is, you have to speak English. But in Japan, it's not like that. In China, it's not. In Taiwan, no, I don't understand. So they have to go and look for somebody to translate what you're saying to the doctor. And some of the files get lost in translation.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Right?
I mean,
It get lost.
absolutely.
So we need, technology that can immediately tell the doctor what's wrong with you, what you are going through without any language. Even if it's sign language, whatever you want to do, let it be able to understand what is wrong with you so we can get the right treatment.
Yeah, you're right. Because, I was in Vietnam for work and I had kind of anxiety. I had anxiety. I figured out later. But they said that you're going to go through all series of tests, blood test, heart test. I said, no, I'm here for a day. And I think this is anxiety. You just have to tell me it's anxiety and nothing else. I just wanted to hear that. But said, no, 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 you're going to go through all series of tests like they do. Normally, like you're going to take ECG, did a prick your finger, take your blood, wait for 3 hours, get your results. I said, no, I'm done with this. Then I realized it was anxiety because of the work stress. So you're right. I mean, language is there, cultural barriers are there because they didn't speak English as much as well. And I was trying to explain them, I don't have that much time. I'm flying tonight. So you're right, Kingsley, right on the spot. Great. Let's take some closing. Sorry, go on. You wanted to say something?
No, go ahead. No, I'm good. No. It's got cool.
Okay, great.
Gary is kind of quiet today. Gary, what time is it where you are?
It's 8. It's not, this is my second one this morning, so it's normal for me. It's okay. I'm listening. I'm enjoying Kingsley. I love it. Just keep it up.
So you have to realize, Kingsley, when Gary is quite like this, he's enjoying, he's listening because the discussions are really something that appealing him. Sometimes you want to hear what others are sharing, and Gary's doing that as well. So let's take some closing remarks. Let's start with Gary. Gary, I mean, very informative session in the sense, very engaging. All of us were talking. And real life scenarios. I mean, we're discussing real life issues, disease on this panel today. So let's take some closing remarks before we wrap up the show.
Yeah, I mean, these are incredible times, and 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when we did this, we worked in California with my MBA students on a project called Living to 120. At the time, it was eye-opening, and there are places like Ikaria, Greece, where people live longer than any place in the world, and it's about happiness, right? Happiness and enjoying life and feeling good about it. There's a lot of energy. When you have that positive energy, it really does help you live longer. So I'm excited about it. There's incredible technologies, AI technologies, computer vision, that are really, we're on the cusp of changing everything and to help us live longer and better lives. So I'm excited about that. You can reach me, Gary Fowler, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Love to hear from you. And, it's a great time and great to see my friends today.
Absolutely, same here. Great time. Absolutely different times. I mean, totally different times we're experiencing, but equally good, equally great. Thank you so much, Gary. Kingsley?
Yeah, Sonny, I'm really happy. Becoming a family. You have Tulani, you have Gary, you have Sonny there. Like it's like we're in our room actually, and just discussing. And
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to head is wet. Most of the time, we need to use common sense. And what this pandemic have taught me personally, is that I need to take more of myself. You remember when we used to run from Puerto.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're back. I lost you for some time. Yeah. We can't hear
Can you
you.
hear me?
Yeah, now it's better. Yeah.
You can hear me now?
Yes, can hear you now.
Okay. So when we used to go from Puerto Rico to Zurich to everywhere in the world, having webinars, then come back home and work 18 hours, 17 hours without resting. The pandemic has given us the opportunity to realize that we need to rest more. It is the first time in a very long time, in 20, 30 years, I'm actually staying at home for 8 hours. Staying at home for 10 hours, getting to spend time with the family. Now, when you look at the lives of our grandfathers and great grandfathers, they live long. Why did they live long? Because they're not working the way we're working. They work for 4 hours, they go home, they relax, they eat, they chat with their friends, and they were happy. Right now, we are all in pursuit of money at the expense of our head. We don't rest. We wake up early in the morning. We are working 24 hours trying to chop. We already have what we need. Why are we looking for more? So my suggestion to everybody is please take care of yourself. When you are gone. Nobody, those people you are trying to drag up and down, they will keep on with their life. So help yourself, help those that are close to you. And you can reach me on kingsley@kingsleykobayashi.com, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. So I love my voice, but I'm kind of shouting.
Yeah, it's okay. We can hear you clearly, minus the technical glitches that we had. But yes,
I cannot hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? Can others hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. So I think Kingsley is sorting out a few things. But anyways, we're wrapping up the show now. End of the show. Vandana, your closing remarks, please.
So first of all, Sunny, thank you for having me here all the time and making this happen. I get a lot of insights on a lot many things. My message to all of you here is that see, mind and body is connected with each other. If your mind is not fine, then definitely your body won't be fine. So take care of your mental health. Be positive, be happy, because sometimes just that cures a lot of things. And do your fitnesses and read the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Stay positive, stay happy, and stay lively and stay connected. And thank you, Latukan, for having this wonderful platform for making people connect globally. I can be reached out on LinkedIn. Convanto is the name of my company. Feel free to reach out to me for wonderful innovations in healthcare, and I would gladly look at these kind of startups. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Vandana, for those very right words. Mental health is very important for anything, Health as well is wealth. It's a saying that I totally agree. I mean, if you have no health, you have nothing in this world.
Yes.
Forget about wealth. So on that note, let's just wrap up the show. I'm back again tomorrow on another episode of VCTV on another topic with another set of speakers, and hopefully see you, Gary and Kingsley and Vandana again. Till then, take care of your health.